This is just a handful of electric power tools that I've got. This is not all of them, but today I'm going to be talking about these long neck quarter drive ratchets. I've got the Milwaukee. I brought this one first, and ever since I purchased this quarter drive long neck extended ratchet, it's been my absolute favorite tool. I made one slight modification on it. I ground this down just a little bit. It was completely around like the other side, but I can get away with just a little sliver missing right at the front to give me just a little bit better clearance in some things. And I made a modification on this one right here. This was sticking out way too far. This is one of my biggest gripes on this Harbor Freight ratchet. I got it because it has the longer neck. It's a little bit taller and it's a little bit slimmer. You see the difference, quite a bit difference. But I don't have any problems reaching anything with the Harbor Freight. This is plenty fine. And the heads, even though this one looks smaller, the heads are almost identical, except on the Milwaukee, that insert right here is recessed and you can easily get to it. But after I ground this one down, you know, it has better clearance now, but I can still switch it over side to side just fine. I bought the year replacement plan on this Harbor Freight one. That means I'm going to be using the quarter drive to 3/8 step up quite a bit. And I don't want to necessarily break these things. I've been putting this one through some strenuous tests. I remember my first quarter drive ratchet was not my first quarter drive ratchet, but my first power ratchet was air powered. When I first started working on cars, and it was quarter drive, and I used it on a 13 millimeter caliper slide bolt, and it broke this thing off immediately. So I've got experience with, I know quarter drive is very small and it can snap off easily, but I've been doing some pretty crazy things with this thing. And if you think about it, it should be just as strong as a ratchet that's this long. And I've got quarter drive ratchet that's that long. Well, I guess I lied. It's not quite that long. It's about a couple inches shorter. Anyway, if this quarter drive ratchet can withstand what I put to it, it's the same bit size on the front. It's the same quarter drive shank as that. So this thing should hold up to what this ratchet holds up to, and that's what I'm putting it through. Now, on the other hand, this Harbor Freight ratchet that I bought the year replacement plan on, I'm putting this attachment on it all the time, and I'm going to town. I'm not doing things like taking stuff apart that I know is gonna snap it, but let's just say I'm putting it through its year replacement plan pretty thoroughly. What else? They both feel quite a bit powerful. This one's faster. At least it seems like it. I don't know. Let's see if we can get both of them going at the same time. I'd have to hold the camera with something else to do that. Either that or let's see here. I'll get it done. Yeah, the Milwaukee definitely seems like it's going faster. And also, let's take a look at these triggers. I really like this trigger. It feels very nice. These Milwaukee triggers, horrible design. Let's just show you this one right here. This is what ends up happening to that trigger design. It has a roll pin in there, and if you'll notice on the inside, see there's a crack right there. And this handle's about to come off. All that you have to do is get something behind that lever and bend it forward, bend it to its side, and then the case is gonna crack and break, and the lever is gonna be in bad shape. So I wish that the Milwaukee ratchets had this kind of button. I'm not so sold on the long neck, but I bought it because it was cheap enough. The good thing about the Milwaukees is I've got these 6 amp hour batteries. These Harbor Freights only have the small 2 amp hour batteries right now. for the 12 volts. I've only got 2 batteries for this Harbor Freight one. I've got, as you can see, mini batteries for the Milwaukee stuff. I'll do some more extensive testing with the rest of this in the future. I'm using this brown Avant as my test vehicle, and what I mean by my test vehicle is I'm getting a long block ready to go, completely built, and then I drop it in this car before I verify that it's good to sell or do anything else with. And I've got a few things that make this a very speedy process in this car, and then I can close it down and drive it. But one thing I'm trying right now is I'm gonna go inside the house and I'm gonna let this car run inside the garage with all the doors closed, and I'm gonna see if it can evacuate all the oxygen and kill its own engine. Kind of like, you know, you can get how do you say it? Asphyxiated if you stay in the garage with the engine running, because you're breathing all of the exhaust fumes, which is what, carbon dioxide, and there's no more oxygen left. Let's see if the same thing happens to starve out the engine with oxygen. I don't know, but I'm about to start it and we'll see if that ever happens. I'll check up on it in about an hour.